I know I've not been making videos for a while, and that's because I've been working behind the scenes on building something that you guys will absolutely love, and that will come soon. But today's video is about my 2023 routine. So the reason I'm making this video is because when I tell people the number of things I do, so I work as a physiotherapist at 2 hospitals. I run 2 YouTube channels. I work freelance editing for other companies, other people. And I'm also working on starting my own platform, my own company. So when people come to know I'm doing so many things, they ask me, how the hell are you able to do all of this and how do you have energy to do this? And I've always been a person that likes to do a lot of things, because the more I keep myself busy, the more I keep myself stimulated, I just feel better. I know that might be a problem, but right now my routine is designed so that I can be the healthiest. I can do the maximum amount of things. I can have the highest testosterone levels, the lowest cortisol levels, and overall just feel good and have my mental and physical body functioning at optimal levels, such that I'm able to ace and kill everything I do. So I'm not gonna waste more time. I'm just gonna get straight into it. So let's just head back into my studio for that. Over the last couple of years, going through a lot of stuff mentally, physically, emotionally, doing a lot of trial and error, I think I finally reached the point where I have designed a daily routine that works for me, that makes me efficient, and that makes me better every single day. And to be sure that my daily routine is having these positive effects that I talked about, I've classified it into 3 principles by which I want to follow my day, and that is CLS. If I'm able to hit C, L and S in a day, I know that the day has been good, productive, and overall I know I am growing and becoming a better person all around. Now the first part of the day is obviously waking up, and for the camera I would love to say that I wake up at 4 a.m. or I wake up at 5 a.m. and I get an intense workout in, such that my day is going to be fueled with energy and all that kind of jazz. But the reality is I wake up at 7:45 or 8 o'clock, and this is because this time works for me and I end up sleeping late, which y'all will come to know why at the end of the day. But in the morning when I wake up, the first thing that I do is I take my earpods and I pop them in and I start listening to a podcast which is usually going to teach me a lot of things. So lately I've been listening to the Dr. Andrew Huberman podcast, or Huberman Lab podcast, where he provides the scientific know-hows about how our body works, how various factors affect our body, and how we can practically use this knowledge to better our quality of life. And this podcast is amazing. If you haven't heard it, I suggest you listen to it. But as I'm going through my morning routine, that is brushing my teeth, having my morning coffee, ironing my clothes, I just got this podcast playing in my ear the entire time, because in the morning when you wake up, your nervous system and your brain is rested and fresh. Whatever you consume in the morning, you're going to be able to absorb it better and develop it into memories or memory patterns much better than if you were to listen to it, say, in the afternoon or the evening. And that's why I do not like to start my morning just scrolling through Instagram or scrolling through YouTube through mindless reels or pranks or stuff like that. And that's why I like to start my day listening to something that is very informational, and that actually ticks off the first part of the CLS principle, and that is L. L stands for learning. I'm able to do maximum amount of learning when I wake up in the morning. Now let's move on to breakfast. Well, I actually do not have breakfast. All I have is a glass of black coffee without sugar, and also I will have a scoop of L-glutamine. L-glutamine mostly because it helps in controlling my symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome. But I found fasting to be amazing, not just for losing weight, but it also increases my focus and my brain power in the morning to be able to do my best work in the morning. Because usually when you consume a heavy breakfast, your body is going to direct the resources or the blood flow towards the GI system so that your body can digest that food. So it's going to take away the blood supply from the brain or any other part of your body, so you're not going to be that efficient. So I feel waking up in the morning when you're super fresh, eating the first thing when you wake up is kind of counterproductive, because you're super fresh at that time and you can actually get a lot done. So that's why I like to head to work on an empty stomach, and that is intermittent fasting. And then I get onto my bike and I ride about 1 hour all the way to work. Now when people hear that I ride 1 hour to work and 1 hour from work, they ask me why didn't I take a job which was closer. Because the reason I took this job is, one, because I'm getting to ride that 1 hour. Riding or driving is very therapeutic to me. Like if you give me a good car or a good bike and tell me to meet you anywhere, no matter how far, I'm most likely going to be game, because I enjoy driving, I enjoy riding, and my mind is functioning creatively at a level that I have never experienced before. Like the idea for the platform or the company that I'm building with my brother-in-law, which I will tell you all about, came about while I was riding. And this thought process just built up over a period of 2 to 3 days, to the point where the third day, me and my brother-in-law were having discussions about seriously going ahead with this. And after that, it just kept on moving from that point. So the long ride is actually amazing for me and I love it. And I've actually had opportunities to work closer to home, but I've taken this because of the distance and because I'm given autonomy to work however I please in the current hospital I'm working at. That's something that I really like, having that freedom. And yeah, that's the reason why I work where I work. So I'll complete my work at about 1 o'clock, and I'll usually break my fast at around 12:30 to 2. And if I do break my fast before I get home, it's usually at the hospital canteen. Maybe I'll have a coffee and a burger or some kind of snack with that, and then I will come home and I will have my first big meal of the day. And like I told you all before, after we eat, our body directs most of the resources into our GI. That's exactly what happens in the afternoon, and that's why you usually tend to feel sleepy in the afternoon. Now I'm not a fan of sleeping in the afternoon because I just feel, so I try to avoid that. So what I usually do is, after lunch I'll usually have another coffee. This will be my third coffee of the day, and I start doing tasks that are not so labor intensive or do not require me to think so creatively, like answering emails, or during my call with my brother-in-law about stuff that I had to be done for the website, like I'll work on that stuff, or photo editing, video editing, or some minor changes that need to be made to my YouTube videos or my thumbnails or my freelance projects. So the afternoon is where I usually do the less labor intensive tasks, and that's how I get through my afternoon without having to sleep. Now there are some afternoons that I'm really exhausted and I need to sleep, and those days I do take a nap. And then we get on to 4 o'clock, which is about the evening, where I go and I consult at the second hospital that I consult at if I have patients. So that hospital I go on on-call basis. So if I have patients, I'll be going to see those patients at 4 o'clock. If not, I will just continue doing the task that I was doing, and I'll probably have a snack in between that, maybe some eggs and toast and another coffee. And then we get on to the second part of the CLS principle, that is S, that is sweat it out. And that is by working out. So in the evenings, I'd usually do a strength training session or a cardio session. Now when I talk about strength training sessions, it mostly involves weightlifting in the form of doing compound lifts like the bench press, squat, overhead press, dips, and all those kind of basic compound movement exercises. And when I'm talking about cardio, it's either going to be a high intensity interval boxing, pulling a sled, or sometimes when I'm really exhausted or my body has taken a lot of damage throughout the entire week, I'll just go for a half an hour to 45 minutes walk. Now after my workout is when I usually get my last meal. Now this meal is usually high in protein and less in carbohydrates, just because I feel like my body absorbs the protein much better after a workout as it does through the rest of the day because of my IBS. So that's why I like to have a high protein meal after my workout, and be that meal to be my last meal of the day. Now obviously there are exceptions. I do not follow this every day. There are some days where I need to head to a party or I need to catch up with my friends for dinner, and so those days I will end up having another meal after the workout. That will be my dinner or whatever, catching up and stuff like that. Now after my last meal of the day is when I will spend some time either watching some TV show, some funny TV show, scrolling through Instagram, just doing stuff that just gets me to chill, because one, my body needs time to digest the food that has just been eaten. However, I will say that I do not feel sleepy after that meal, because my body is usually very efficient at digesting and absorbing the food at that time, because my basal metabolic rate is already increased because of the workout. But I still just try to keep it chill. Now that brings us to the night when I'm able to get the last part of the CLS principle, that is C. But before we go into that, I need to take my cold shower. Now the way I do cold showers is what Dr. Andrew Huberman has suggested to do if you want to use cold showers, so that you can increase the lipolysis, that is the fat burning process. And that is, you go into the shower until you're freezing and you start shivering, and then you come out, and for 2 to 5 minutes you just stand outside, not drying yourself and just shivering, and then you go back in. You repeat this a couple of times, maybe 2 to 3 times. Now what this does is, because of that shivering motion of your body starts releasing norepinephrine as a defense mechanism to fight off the cold, and so it increases your basal metabolic rate. And also this has been shown to promote lipolysis, because the amount of energy we get from 1 gram of fat is more than double than we get from 1 gram of carbohydrates or protein. So our body starts to break down fat much more. So that's the reason why I do cold showers in this way. Now the reason that I do my shower so long after my workout or after eating is because after I have my cold shower, my body usually feels refreshed, like as if I just woke up early morning, because I got a lot of adrenaline pumping into my body. So this means now's the perfect time to get my night session in of C, that is to create. So I'll either be working on my YouTube videos, editing my YouTube videos, freelance project, or I'll be hopping on a call with my brother-in-law. Right now, this is what's happening majority of the days. We're just hopping on calls and designing the website and working on building up the platform so that we can release it as soon as possible. Basically, just getting creative work done, the stuff that creatively stimulates me. Because after the cold shower and the night being the night so quiet is when I perform amazing creatively. So that's when I'll get most of my amazing work done. And after that, I'll usually spend about half an hour to 1 hour just going on my phone and wasting time watching stuff, watching entertainment stuff, not learning stuff. Now's the time for entertainment stuff, or just texting my friends, or just doing chill stuff before I head to bed. Now when I head to bed, the one thing that I started doing is it's wearing this night mask. Now I know it may look very funny, and usually people that care about their beauty and stuff, getting the beauty sleep, usually wear this. But the reason I started wearing this, because it's very harmful to get light into your body when you're trying to sleep or when it's the night time, because this actually affects the quality of your sleep. And if you're not able to get good sleep, you're basically not going to be able to recharge to be able to perform at the best level you can the next day. Also, another benefit is when you wear this and you do not have light entering and you get good sleep, your body is able to actually release testosterone in the levels that it should be. Besides the fact of trying to get more sleep, the quality of your sleep is very important. So this is why I use this, and this has been amazing. I know it might feel weird initially, but once you get used to it, the benefits just outweigh the cons. Or I can't think of any cons right now, except for the fact that people might find it funny, but then I sleep alone, so nobody's gonna see me. And one more thing that I've been meaning to try is taping my mouth shut so that I'm forced to breathe from my nose, because nasal breathing is the right way and the best way you can get the oxygen. But I have not got around to doing that yet. I know Ali Abdal does it, and Dr. Andrew Huberman also has shown scientifically there is research to prove that it does, but I've not yet started doing it and I keep forgetting to try it. But that's what I'm going to be trying soon, and then I'll just go to sleep and I wake up the next day at 7:38 again to do it all again. Now this is a usual day in my life, but there are unusual days in my life like today. So today is recording and editing day. So the days when I'm making a main channel video, the main channel video takes priority over everything else. So from the moment I start to the moment I'm done, I'm probably spending 10 to 12 hours continuously just working on the video and trying to finish it in that session, just because once I get into that flow, I don't like to break that flow. So whether it comes to working out, whether it comes to having my last meal, whether it comes to doing anything else, like everything takes a back seat just on the days that I'm recording and editing, because that becomes a priority. Also, another thing that I started to try to implement is have a more active social life. Like in the past 2 years, okay, maybe not the last 6 months, but before that my social life was pretty much non-existent. I should just go on working, and if anyone used to ask me to meet up or anything, like I was not willing to do it. But now I've started becoming open to it, mostly over the weekends. Like if you ask me to meet up or hang out during the week, like that's not going to be feasible for me. Even if I have the time, my mind is working on so many other things that my thought process is not going to be there at that moment. Now obviously this is not to say that I will never go out during the week. I guess it just depends on how much value that interaction or that situation adds to my life, and if I see value, then obviously I will. So that's just another thing that I'm trying to work more on, increasing my social life. And it feels amazing to be back on YouTube. Also stay tuned, because my new company or the new platform that I'm creating will be dropping soon. That's actually the logo back there. Let me just focus on that. See, that's the logo of my new company, and I will be dropping it soon, and I'm so excited. And this is basically a problem that I've been dealing with ever since I became a creator, like a lot of problems, and I couldn't find a solution for it. So I decided to just create the solution, and I'm hopeful that it helps a lot of people out. And I'm just very excited to drop that, and I'm currently working on that. So that announcement will be coming very soon. If you guys enjoyed my video and you want to join this family and join us in 2023, then hit that subscribe button. But I'll see you all next time. Peace.